I get asked a lot about why I have my green screen at some times, and why I don't at others. To answer the question of why I only use a green screen sometimes, the answer is actually that I have two different setups, one at home and one at college. In college, I live at a dormitory, which is a building that exists to house students near campus. I stay there because it's close to my classes, and it's fun being in the middle of so much activity. The thing is that dorm rooms are typically pretty small, and in my specific case, my green screen is actually so wide that it does not fit. As you can probably guess considering my backdrop, I'm at home right now. But I want to show you guys the difference between my setup here and my setup at college. I also want to show you guys some of my peripherals because I get asked about them quite frequently too. By the way, if you like this video and haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. The next big milestone is 500,000 subs, which is absolutely crazy. Let's do it! I'm gonna start with my home setup since, I'm here right now. Here it is in its entirety. This is where all of the streaming and recording magic happens. Well, except for when I'm in college, but that's a different story. I have 3 monitors, which is probably more than I actually need. This one is my main one. It's an MSI Optics MAG274 QRF-QD that was sent to me and previously reviewed on my channel. I still like it just as much as I did when I first got it. This one is an Acer GN246HL. I got it a few years ago because it has a 144Hz refresh rate, but I don't actually use it for that because it doesn't have DisplayPort functionality. Finally, this one is... I don't actually know. Specky doesn't seem to know either since it's just labeled as a bank LCD. I took this from my dad's home office a while ago, but he doesn't seem to mind since I still have it. Oops. I often get asked why my main monitor is on the right and not in the middle. I have 2 reasons for this. First, for symmetry. My MSI monitor is the best one I have, and I don't want to put it in the middle because it's so much bigger than my Acer one and the setup would look lopsided. The second reason is for streaming and recording purposes. I find it looks more natural when my head is tilted towards the game as I'm playing it. If I look straight forward, I honestly look pretty terrifying. To achieve this effect, I put my webcam on the monitor in the middle so we get the proper perspective of my head being turned. Speaking of my webcam, I use a Logitech StreamCam. It records in 1080p 60 FPS, which is perfect for me. However, the quality of a video depends so heavily on the lighting. I have these 2 Elgato key lights that were sent to me over a year ago, and boy are they my favorite. Without them, my camera quality drops so much. Seriously, look at that. I can also adjust specific settings like the intensity and color of the light without leaving my chair. They're awesome. Elgato also sent me their Wave 3 microphone, which, believe it or not, I also love. I find its clarity to be super impressive for a USB microphone, and there's this special feature called Clip Guard that prevents my audio from peaking when I yell, which is super important when you're someone who yells a lot like me. I have the microphone connected up to a boom arm that I got off of Amazon for like 20 bucks. If you want to increase your audio quality without investing too much money, just get a boom arm. Seriously. Bringing your microphone closer to your face does wonders for audio, and you really don't need to get anything expensive to do the trick. I've also got this Stream Deck that I purchased myself around 2 years ago. It's how I switch between OBS scenes while live, monitor my CPU usage, turn my heart rate on, and more. It's also the reason my Twitter name changes every time I go live. Thankfully, I'm not doing that by hand. Now on to the peripherals that you don't necessarily see but are still very important. Actually, I kind of lied because you definitely see these. These are my headphones. They're Logitech G733s and I think they're awesome. They have RGB lighting on the front so you guys can actually see them light up, and I've used the G-Hub software to sync my desktop's audio to the lights. So basically, if someone talks or if the audio gets loud, the lights turn on. So for example, if I play this bwomp noise, you can see the lights start on. They've also got a great battery life and a wonderful sound quality, so I love them. My keyboard also used to be from Logitech G, but there was a bit of an incident.
Oh no! Get it! What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? It's good, it's good, it's good. It's good. Oh no, it's not!
My spacebar got destroyed after that. It was pretty upsetting. Around that same time though, I was getting interested in mechanical keyboards, and IQNix was kind enough to send me their OG80 wormhole keyboard. This thing is awesome. Not only does it have RGB lighting for the gamer aesthetic, but it comes with custom keycaps that you can swap out if you'd like to. I like this one in particular because I'm a biology nerd. It's literally a match made in heaven. The switches are hot swappable so you can replace them if you'd like, but there's quite a few options on the store anyways. I got mine sent over with TTCA switches, and this is how it sounds. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and I'm super thankful to IQNix for sending it over. If you like it as much as I do, definitely check it out with the link I put in the description. It's an affiliate link, so if you buy the keyboard through it, you actually get a 5% discount. Cool! Here's my mouse. It's a Razer Basilisk V2. I know that the stereotypical Geometry Dash mouse is a Logitech G502, but I've had issues with those in the past for whatever reason. They'd start to double click and drop inputs after a few months of use, and that's obviously not good. I like my Basilisk V2 a lot, and it's lasted me a while, so if you're looking for a durable mouse to play GD, definitely give this one a shot. And of course, the green screen. It's an Elgato collapsible green screen. In order to chroma key anything, you just need a green backdrop that's well lit, but I like how smooth this is. Except for the creases that I ended up making because I closed it wrong one time. It doesn't show up on camera though, so we're good. That's really the gist of my home setup. I have the same peripherals in college except for a few things, but I'd still like to show you how I've set things up there. So let me just do a little bit of magic. And boom, here I am. I'm back in college now. The past few videos of mine have kind of been a mixture of college and home videos, which is probably pretty confusing. Don't overthink it though, it's just that the ones at home were recorded over winter break, and the ones at college were recorded now that I'm back. The ones at home have just taken longer to edit, that's all that there is to it. Alright, I'll show you around my setup here now. In college, I only have 2 monitors. My desk barely fits them. On the left, I have my MSI monitor, and on the right is one that isn't normally in my home setup. This is my Viotech GN27DB, and it used to be my main monitor before I got the MSI one. I use this one as my main monitor in college purely due to the small size of my desk. My MSI monitor sits on the left where it basically levitates. Don't panic, seriously, don't panic. This thing has a heavy and sturdy base and has no intentions of falling, trust me. Because of the desk size, I have to keep it on the left since it can basically hover off of it and be just fine, so my Viotech monitor goes on the right. Oh, and here's my PC. It's the one that Redux sent me and it continues to be incredibly powerful. This is the same one I had at home during break, but you didn't see it because it was under my desk. At college though, there's no space to put it on the floor, so it's squished between the Viotech monitor and the wall. Here's the specs if you're curious. I won't blab on and on about them since there's already an entire video on my channel dedicated to it, but to put it simply, this computer is a beast. I'm still so happy with it. Most of my peripherals here are the same. I still have the Basilisk V2, the G733, the StreamCam, and the Wave 3. There's a few key differences that you might have noticed though. First, the microphone isn't hooked up to a boom arm even though I spent so much time talking about how important that is. Why? Well, the desk in my dorm doesn't have a location where I can clamp the boom arm on. It's really annoying. This is the same reason I don't have my key lights here. Just because the desk doesn't have a ledge, I can't attach a boom arm or my lights. Sad. There's also a new keyboard here. I built this one myself. It took a whole lot of time and probably too much money, so unless you already know what you're doing, I'd just stick with the iQnix OG80 wormhole. If you're curious though, this is an Idobao ID87 build with looped Gatoron black inks and Duroc V2 stabilizers. This was my first time building a keyboard, so it's definitely not the greatest, but it was a labor of love. I recorded a sound test back home so you can hear it too. So yeah, building a custom keyboard can result in something that sounds great, but it's also usually super expensive and time consuming. If you're interested in something like that, definitely consider whether it's worth it for you before you make the investment, or go with an easily modifiable board like the iQnix one so you can try things out there. This desk mat and the little Twitch logo were sent to me by Twitch themselves, so huge thanks to them. The desk mat is really nice and even has RGB lighting, which is fun. The logo thingy is actually a wireless charger, and I mentioned it for absolutely no reason in my video where I played damn pre-run levels. I like to use it to charge my AirPods at night. It's just fun and I like it a lot. Oh, also, since I can't have a boom arm here, I sometimes like to literally put my microphone on a box so it's closer to my face. It's not exactly the most glamorous thing I've ever done, but it makes me sound better in my opinion. Here's what I sound like with the box while clicking my mouse, compared to how I sound without the box while clicking my mouse. I just think it sounds better with the box on, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Time to address some commonly asked questions about my college setup. Question 1, are you sitting on the floor? No, I'm not, my bed is just really high. Follow-up question, why is your bed really high? This is actually typical in college dorms. Students will often raise the bed so you can use the area underneath it for storage since dorms are small, and I do the same thing. I keep my clothes in a drawer underneath my bed. Follow-up question that absolutely no one asked. How do you even get in your bed? I use my chair as a step stool. It's not really the most glamorous thing, but like it works, so it works. Question 2, does the green screen really not fit? Yeah, it doesn't. This is the space in between my chair and my bed. Even though I could probably squeeze it in, it would become 50 times harder to move around my room, and I don't really want to be tripping over it every time I get up for any reason. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the quality of the camera is super dependent on the lighting, and since I can't mount my key lights to this desk, the quality of the green screen would be super scuffed anyways. Therefore, I decided the best option was just to go with a traditional face cam. I think it's fine though. I think it's okay. But yeah, I think that's about it. My setup at home versus my setup at college. Let me know what you thought of this video since it's obviously different than normal. Despite that though, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I hope you have a good day. See ya!